Most people think a neck hump is just part of aging. A rounded upper back, forward shoulders. That curve at the base of the neck that slowly gets worse with time. But what if that's not aging at all? Research from Japan's National Center for Geriatrics shows that most neck humps form from years of poor posture, tension, and shallow breathing, not time. And that means they can be changed. So in today's episode of the Senior Health Podcast, we're diving into 3 powerful exercises to help reverse that neck hump from home. And you won't need any equipment or a gym, just a wall, your breath, and time-tested techniques used by Japan's oldest practicing physician. And he's here with me again today, a man who, even past 100, carries no neck hump, no rounded spine, and no tension in his step. He's treated over 30,000 patients, and he's here to show you that a strong, upright posture doesn't fade with age. It returns with alignment. Doctor, it's a privilege to have you here with us again.
Thank you, John, and thank you to everyone taking the time to listen to our show. What we're talking about today isn't just about your neck. It's about your nervous system. When your posture begins to fold, it's often not because you're weak. It's just your body compensating for stress and fatigue.
So the neck hump, that curve so many people try to hide, that's not just gravity?
No, it is the story of how you've been holding yourself up, day after day, forward-leaning habits, shallow breath, muscles that are trying to protect the spine but can no longer support it, and the body adapts and eventually it begins to speak. And this is one of the ways it does.
That's a humbling way to look at it.
In Japanese medicine, we believe posture is emotional. When your chin juts forward, when your shoulders cave in, it is not just alignment, it is compression of the breath, of the heart, of your presence. And that's why the change starts small, with daily signals that say, I am safe again, I can lift again.
And that's what you're going to walk us through today, right? A few small signals that help us stand taller again.
Yes, 3 simple practices, done slowly with care. You don't need special equipment. You don't need perfect form, just a willingness to stop pushing against the curve, and instead begin inviting it to soften.
So if you're listening right now and you've ever felt embarrassed by your posture or afraid it's too late to change, this episode is for you. These aren't workouts, they're daily recalibrations. You won't sweat, but you may feel something shift.
Because better posture isn't about straightening, it's about softening the fight. And when the tension finally lifts, the body remembers how to rise.
Now before we begin, I want to give a quick heads up to our Black Friday sale of the Senior Health Guide series. 8 guides in total: osteoporosis, hair loss, skin care, diabetes, sleep, stroke, vision, memory support, and 2 bundles in which we packed all of them to make it even cheaper for you. Get yours now in our shop for up to 40% discount.
I finally understand my sleep problem thanks to this guide. It has completely changed how I sleep, and I am so excited for the future.
And speaking of guides, to help you further, we have created a free guide of today's exercises. Just watch this video and leave us with a comment that you would like to receive it so we can send it to you. Now, doctor, for people who've been living with this curve for years, is it really something the body can change?
Yes. Even after decades, the body is still listening. It may seem rigid, but it's never fully locked. What appears stuck is often just ignored tissue, waiting for attention.
That's something I think a lot of people need to hear. We assume aging means loss, but you're saying much of this is still alive.
Exactly. Fascia, breath, even bone responds to movement. But the world we live in doesn't invite that. We look down, we lean forward, we rush. And in that posture, our nervous system stays in defense.
So it's not just the shape of the neck, it's the whole system responding.
Yes, It is postural memory shaped by environment. Japanese elders walk more, squat more, and carry things closer to their body. These small habits preserve alignment. In the West, the body begins folding earlier, not because of weakness, but because of the lifestyle.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about what we lose, it's what we stop doing.
Yes, and when movement stops, fluid stops, circulation slows, muscles shorten to protect us. But when we bring in just a few minutes of correction each day, the body begins to uncoil, not with force but with rhythm.
So we don't need to force our way out of this?
No, we need to remind the body of its design. The nervous system doesn't respond to pressure, it responds to safety, and that's what these first exercises offer. They don't just stretch the spine, they calm the system that's been guarding it.
That's unexpected but beautiful. So what's the first movement someone can do today to start that release? Gently and safely.
The first is one of my favorites. It looks simple, but it awakens muscles that haven't been engaged in years. We start by standing tall, arms raised in a Y shape, like you're greeting the sky. Then we draw the arms slowly down into a W, then out into a T, and finally fold them into an L. Each shape invites the spine to open in a different way, from shoulder blade to rib cage.
That almost sounds like a meditation more than an exercise. What's happening in the body during that?
As we move through each shape, Y, W, T, L, we're lengthening the thoracic spine. That's the part between your shoulder blades, where the hump begins. And when you do it, mindfully, your breath will start to deepen without forcing it. This tells the nervous system you're safe to let go.
And there's no equipment needed, right? Just your own body.
That's right. You can do it standing or sitting, slowly, without pulling or straining. What matters is the intention. Each position helps the spine remember how to stack, not collapse.
It reminds me of something you said once. The body doesn't need to be corrected. It needs to be reminded.
Yes, and reminders must be gentle. The muscles around the neck hump have been protecting you for a long time. If you push them, they will resist, but if you breathe with them, they begin to soften.
I imagine that's when real change becomes possible. So how exactly does this sequence work?
First, you raise your arms into a Y with fingers spread and palms facing forward and hold it there for 30 seconds. It's important that we feel the chest expand. Then we bend the elbows into a W, squeezing the shoulder blades gently. Hold that too for 30 seconds.
Right. Feels amazing.
Yes. After we stretch the arms wide into a T, palms still forward, and hold. And finally bend your elbows into an L, keeping your arms close to your sides, and breathe as your back engages. Each position for 30 seconds, and each breath is like a quiet signal that you're safe to rise.
And that language isn't loud. It's quiet, subtle.
Very much so. One of my patients called it spine whispering. I liked that, because once you feel that inner lift, something changes. Not just in your posture, but in how you carry yourself through the day.
That's what I noticed when I tried it. There's a stillness, but also strength. You don't feel pulled down. You feel centered.
And when that feeling returns, the neck hump, which once felt stubborn, begins to soften, slowly, gradually, but surely.
So this sequence isn't just about fixing the curve. It's about helping the spine remember it can rise again.
Yes. And once that memory is restored, the body starts asking for more space, more breath, more movement. And that leads us to the second practice, one that begins not with the spine, but with the arms.
There's something about that I really didn't expect. Just holding those shapes, it feels like something starts to shift, not just physically, but in how you carry yourself. So where do we go from there?
You could not say it better, John. So next, we invite the shoulders to open. The second movement begins with the arms behind your back, fingers interlaced and the elbows straight. As you gently pull your arms back, you lift your chest and tilt your head toward the sky. It looks simple, but it lengthens the entire front of the body, from the collarbones to the throat.
That motion alone feels incredibly vulnerable.
Yes, and that's why it's powerful. Most people with a neck hump have spent years curling forward, protecting their heart. This motion is the opposite. It's a quiet kind of courage.
It's not a stretch for flexibility. It's a stretch for openness.
Exactly. You're not just opening the chest. You're asking the neck to stop guarding. When you tilt the head back, even slightly, you send a signal to the brain that the threat is gone, that the body can return to balance.
And you can feel it immediately. The breath moves differently. The eyes soften. It's like the body lets out a sigh.
Because it does. This small posture reawakens the scalene and sternocleidomastoid muscles that are two of the most overworked and undernourished muscles in the neck. When they're tight, your head pulls forward, but when they release, the spine realigns without force.
And just like the first one, it's so gentle.
Yes, no tugging, no jerking, just time. And when the head lifts in that final moment, it's not about posture anymore. It's about presence.
That's what I keep coming back to, the emotional weight in these movements. They don't just open the body, they give something back.
They do. And when this becomes a daily ritual, the hump at the base of the neck often starts to fade. Not because you're fixing it, but because you've stopped reinforcing it. That's the difference. And the next practice deepens that release in a way most people have never tried.
That makes me lean in a bit. You're saying there's another piece, one that feels different from both of these first two. What kind of release are we talking about? And where in the body does it begin?
This is the third exercise, John. We begin at the wall. One arm stretches high and the palm open and elbow soft. And from there, we turn the body slowly away. As the head tilts back and to the side, it activates deep postural muscles that often go untouched. The stretch may feel unusual at first, but it targets the exact tissues that pull the head forward and feed the neck hump over time.
That's one I've never seen taught in Western clinics, to be honest.
It's quiet, but precise. The turning motion decompresses the side of the neck, especially the upper trapezius and levator scapulae. These muscles hold years of tension.
It almost sounds like a spiral unwinding itself, not forcing the body open, but letting it unfold.
That's exactly what it is. When the arm reaches high and the head turns back, it naturally pulls fascia away from the spine.
What's the benefit of this?
Well, fascia is often thickened and glued down by years of tension. It's not just about lengthening, it's about letting that tissue become fluid again.
It's fascinating how much you can change just by shifting your position.
And when you do it on both sides, right, then left, you start to restore symmetry. Most people only turn one way in daily life. Over time, that imbalance becomes posture. But when you correct it with care, the whole upper body finds a new center.
So even just a few seconds on each side can begin that process.
Yes, even 10 seconds. But done daily, it becomes something else. A message to the nervous system that says, you don't have to hold everything so tightly anymore.
That feels incredibly human to me. This isn't about reshaping the body like clay. It's about giving it back its memory, movement it once knew but forgot.
And when the body remembers, it doesn't just stand taller, it trusts again. That trust changes how you walk into a room, how you speak, how you sleep. But the most beautiful part? It often changes how you feel about aging.
I think a lot of people need to hear that. That change is still possible, that it's not too late to feel upright again. So what happens when someone starts feeling that shift? Not just physically, but emotionally.
It begins with awareness. Once someone feels that shift, they often start noticing other places they've been holding too much. The jaw, the chest, even the way they stand in line at the grocery store. Posture becomes less about how you look and more about how you feel in your own skin.
It's like your body starts to speak to you again, and for the first time in years, you know how to listen.
Yes. And from there, healing moves quietly. It doesn't need to be loud, just consistent.
That might be one of the most hopeful things I've heard, that healing doesn't have to be hard. It can begin with softness.
Exactly. Change doesn't come from force. It comes from kindness.
Amazing, doctor. And to everyone listening, we have a free guide for you. Just give the video a thumbs up and leave us with a comment that you would like it, and we will provide you with a link. Oh, and watch this next video right now.
Yes, please.
We've picked this one especially for you.